What have you studied about natural resources? Do you know what natural resources are? Yes, resources found in nature are called as natural resources. Aren't we blessed to get resources from nature? Yes, we sure are. But do you think the resources we have will last forever? Of course they won't. What types of resources have we studied about? We know about two resources. There are those which will get over in a short span of time and the ones that won't get depleted. Can you give me a few examples of both? Resources that are exhaustible would include natural gas, mineral ores, uranium, and many more. Unlimited resources like sun, the wind, and the tides are called as inexhaustible resources. These are also known as non-renewable and renewable resources respectively. In this lesson, we will study about two major non-renewable resources. We are quite familiar with them and they power our modern existence. They are coal and petroleum. Aren't these quite familiar? And yes, their usage dots many of our daily activities. From providing heat to being used as fuels, these two are an indispensable part of the 21st century man's life. Let us go back in times and see how coal as a resource was formed. What makes it non-renewable? Why do we worry about its reserves getting exhausted? Earth, many years ago, was covered with vast tracts of forest and a very thick vegetative cover. What followed later were natural events that submerged the forest remains. The floods, for example, created swamp-like areas that led to the decomposition of vegetative remains by the anaerobic microbes in the water. After a few years, this decayed matter started resembling a black-like sticky layer submerged in water. This is the first stage of coal formation and the black substance found a name. It was called peat. Gradually, as the years passed by, this substance was subjected to further pressure. The layer of the earth and the new soil pressed onto this layer, compressing it. What was the result of such high pressure? High pressure compressed the free molecules of peat and solidified them. And this was aided by the very high temperatures in the bowels of the earth. This process is commonly referred to as carbonization. The dead remains of plants and animals being converted into coal is what carbonization is all about. During this process, substances such as oxygen, nitrogen, and moisture reduce gradually, leaving behind mainly carbon. What we got later was a hard rock-like black substance full of energy. We call it coal. What do we get when we burn coal? We get heat and energy. Heat is released in the form of carbon dioxide. But the question is, how did the coal store this energy? Where did it get its energy from? As you know, plants make use of the sunlight during the process of photosynthesis. They store food in their body and use it later to aid different processes. When those plants died millions of years ago, this energy was trapped inside their dead remains. This is what actually constitutes the energy we find in coal. This energy, therefore, is nothing but the energy of the sun, and when coal is burnt, this very same energy is released to give heat. But how do we know which type of coal would give a lot of heat? Are there different varieties of coal? Is one type of coal preferred to another? We will answer all these questions in a while. Do watch our next video to know more.